Are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah!
It's showtime, folks!
Throwdown Nation, what is going on? We are live on a Tuesday evening. It is September 1st, 2026. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 267 of the Throwdown. We are the community on the internet where we celebrate both the art and the sport of professional wrestling, keeping a strong focus on the indies and bringing you the very best in hard-hitting, in-depth conversations with the hottest stars and most interesting people in and around independent wrestling worldwide. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are throwing down with a wrestler based in the great state of Ohio. Welcome with me, the Cowboy Kid, Andrew Mitchell. How you doing?
What's up? I'm doing all right. Yourself?
Man, I can't complain.
Very nice.
And for those of you that are watching live, let me direct your attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all or at least most of Andrew's social media accounts along with mine. So do us a favor, if you aren't following or subscribed, take the time and go to each of the platforms and do so. It definitely helps both of us. So we'll go ahead and get started with the first and the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
Been wrestling a little over 7 years now. I started June 6, 2019. Started with Dory Funk Jr.
Gotcha. Yeah, you mentioned that you kind of got started shortly after the advent of AEW. It's hard to believe AEW's been around 7 years now. I mean,
it's insane. Time flies.
It
Especially
really
in the wrestling
does.
world, time flies.
Yep. The days are long, but the years are short.
100%. Yeah. You know the
So,
right there.
Yep. I've got a son who he's 17 years old and a senior in high school, and it feels like just yesterday he was a toddler. I mean, so yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, it really is. So, what was the experience like training with Dory? How did you end up getting that opportunity? And tell us a little bit about his training process.
So how I found his school, I was just Googling. I was at school actually at the time. Because when I started, I was 14 going on 15. And I was at school Googling like, oh, wrestling schools near me. And funny enough, his school was like right down the road from me. And on the school bus going to school, his school was actually on the side of the road. And I was like always trying to look for it and find it and everything. And I ended up calling him and talking to Marty and everything. And then she was like, oh, I'll email you and everything for you to sign all this stuff. She ended up not emailing me, and I was like heartbroken. I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to get in. They denied me and everything, and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, we just went out to eat and everything and forgot. She goes, I'm not like, you're accepted and everything. So that's how I ended up finding it. Was just Googling it and like doing research about it. One of my teachers from school actually used to watch his channel and go to his shows and everything. So he was also kind of helping me out get into it. And then when it comes to training there, oh my God, it was amazing. Everyone there was like family. We all worked together. We all would show up to shows early and like work with each other in the ring a little bit before the show and figure everything out and what all we're going to be doing and everything. And a lot of basics. It's a lot of basics. And a lot of people say I'm very smooth in the ring, and I credit that 100% to him, because every day that we go into training, it would always be our basic rolls, basic body slams, arm drags, hip tosses. Those are like the basics that he would do every time we went into training. And because of that, like when I'm in the ring, my footwork is beautiful. Like everything's smooth and flows together just because how many times we had to do the basics. And I couldn't thank him enough for that.
Fundamentals are so important in almost anything you do in life. You know, the fundamentals and the basic stuff will serve you well if you take the time and really do the reps and do the work. So
it's
what would you?
It's mastering the basics and adding to the basics and how to progress from there.
Absolutely. So, you know, unfortunately, we lost Dory recently. But what would you say was the most important thing you learned from Dory Funk?
Oof, that's a hard one right there, because it's so much stuff. Never giving up, always bet on yourself. In-ring psychology, because he's one of the best in-ring psychology on how to tell a story, especially in modern wrestling with all the high flying and high spots and everything. He's really good at toning it down and like, you can do all this, but make sure you have a story behind what you're doing. Make sure it makes sense. Otherwise, no one's going to believe it. Give fans time to adjust what you're doing.
Yep. And, you know, there's an art to that I feel like to a great extent has been somewhat lost today, and that is, you know, don't do something unless it makes sense. You know,
100%. 100%.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to get too much on my soapbox there, but yeah, you know, there's a lot of things in modern wrestling that you just look at and you're like, make it make sense.
Yeah, why did they do that? That was weird.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you got started as a teenager. So in the early stages of your wrestling training, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to kind of wrap your mind and body around? And what would you say surprised you the most?
So for me, the hardest part was because I was so young. I came in it with a chip on my shoulder because I felt like people looking at me differently, and he's 14 going on 15. He's not able to handle what we do, and I didn't want them to look at me any differently. I wanted them to look at me the same as them. So I came into it really wanting to prove myself and make sure everyone like took me seriously, and it took me a while to understand that like they're not looking at me no differently. Like they're treating me just the same. But for me, like for a long time I thought everyone there hated me. I'm like, everyone hates me. I have to do so good. Like going into training, I would get so nervous because I'm like, I have to prove myself. I have to prove myself. If I mess up, that makes me look bad. Even going into training, that's how bad it was. So that would probably be the hardest thing that like to overcome, especially with my age. Like even now, I run into shows where like I go to a show and people don't really want to listen to me when it comes to the match and stuff like that. Like, oh, you're young and this and that. But then once they learn how long I've been doing it and who I was trained by, then they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe you do know some stuff. So that'd be the hardest things that I still sometimes deal with is like being young and people being able to listen to me and everything like that. The most surprising thing, I want to say like how much it hurts. Even though I went into it knowing it's not going to be comfortable, but then like I feel like it was worse than what I imagined also. And then just like people on TV make stuff look so easy. So like I would be watching NXT, but back when it was like black and gold, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never gonna be that good. I'm never gonna be able to do this stuff. So like, it was insane. Like the hard work that I had to go into it and everything like that to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Man,
everything was gonna be easy.
no. You know, NXT Black and Gold was magic. I mean, that group of
100%.
people was just, there will never be another Black and Gold. I mean, that was the closest thing to a perfect roster in my mind that
1000%. Yeah.
you can have. But
I feel like all of them
so
there was willing to prove themselves. They
oh
all had
yeah,
something to prove.
yeah. They were hungry and they were all looking to make their name and yeah.
100%, yeah.
So you were obviously fairly young when you got started, but did you come to professional wrestling with a previous athletic background? Had you done other sports, any other type of martial arts prior, or no?
The most I did was football when I was in like middle school, but like I came in late into the season and then had like a terrible season. So I'd say yes, but no, not really. Not as much as I should have. I feel like I really wanted to do like high school wrestling and stuff like that, but I never had the chance to. I wish.
Gotcha. So I'm presuming you've been at least a fan of this stuff the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, since I can remember, yeah, basically.
What would you say is your earliest wrestling related memory?
Earliest wrestling related memory. Gosh. I remember the Jeff Hardy Randy Orton feud
Mm-hmm.
back when I was little. Jeff Hardy doing a swanton off the scaffolding tower.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the things that really stuck out to me from when I was little. Just like random moments like that, like running into the living room and sitting on like a crate watching SmackDown and like Jimmy Wang Yang and Shannon Moore is coming out. Like just random stuff like that's like my earliest memories of wrestling. I've always had like wrestling action figures. Like since I can remember, I don't remember a time where I never had that stuff. That's how like long I've been watching it. Like I don't even remember a time when I didn't have anything like that.
Gotcha. So what was the first live show you ever went to as a fan?
There was one when I was very little that my dad's cousin took me to. I don't remember much about it. I remember one tag team that almost looked like Brian Kendrick and Paul London. And then I remember they let me get down towards the ring and I was up to like bang on the ring and stuff. I remember it was super loud. We left early because my ears could not handle it. The ring was just so loud. That's the first show I went to, but I don't remember too much about it. Other than that, the first show I went to was going to see Dory's School for the first time.
Gotcha. So, obviously the physical side of this is all extremely important. So tell us a little bit about your gym routine, and in your mind, what would you say are the most crucial exercise or group of exercises that you are currently using to keep in ring shape with?
So when I first started out wrestling, when I went to Dory's, I was super overweight. Just wrestling and working on horse farms and stuff, I lost a bunch of weight. I never really went to the gym. So then I cut down and I was super scrawny. So then at the end of me being there in Florida, I ended up getting super overweight again. It wasn't until I came here to Ohio where I was like, okay, I really need to get myself in check because I didn't like the way I was looking on videos on my matches and everything. So it's like, I really need to get myself in check. So to force myself to go to the gym, because a lot of people, they'll start, then they just quit. And I'm kind of a shy person. If you go to a show with me, like even the wrestlers are surprised because I'm very shy and I don't really talk too much, which I need to work on. But I got a gym membership and I started working at the gym just to force myself to be there every day. To where now I can't miss a day because I work there. So now it forces me to go work my shift, and then after I'm done working, go work on it. Important workouts. I would say squats are very important because that's where, if you pick someone up or anything like that, you're using your legs. I'd say deadlifts are very important. Something I've been trying to get better at is clean and jerks. I'm really wanting to get good at those. I feel like those are very important. Very explosive stuff like that in the gym. I feel like is very important for wrestling. And then yoga and stretching. I think that's very important in wrestling, being able to stay flexible and be able to stay in shape, being on the treadmill and stair stepper. I'm a big fan of the stair stepper. I'll do that for like an hour.
Gotcha. So, kind of on the flip side of that, what is your guilty pleasure cheat day snack of choice?
I'd say two.
Okay, what you got?
Brownies. I'm a big fan of brownies. Brownies are like my go-to. That and then like ice cream floats. I'm a very big fan of a good ice cream float. It's like after a good workout or something, I'll come home and I'll get a glass and put ice cream in it and put like root beer or some type of drink in it. And like it's a bad thing that I shouldn't be doing, but like I can't help myself.
But it's so good.
Yeah. That or a good like fudgy chocolate brownie. Oh my gosh. That's like the two things that like I need to stop doing, but like I can't help myself.
Gotcha. So looking over at the Instagram chat, we've got a couple of people hanging out with us. We got it's your boy Kadarius and Mitchell15 Abigail hanging out with us.
Sweet.
So away from wrestling, what are some of your hobbies and interests? What do you like to do with whatever spare time you might happen to have?
So wrestling is a big part of my life. That's majority of what I do. If I'm not wrestling, I'm watching wrestling. But other than that, poker. I'm really a big fan of poker. I want to get into a poker competition. That's something I really badly want to do. My family is very big into fishing, especially right about now. Family activities, stuff like that. I'm really big into video games, collecting stuff like action figures, or my little sister challenged me to start like a can wall. So like I have a bunch of cans and stuff along my wall that I've drunk, and like because I'm a big fan of trying different energy drinks and stuff, or like
that's cool.
Cans from like the floats and stuff. And she's seen it on YouTube, and she goes, "You should do this." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I enjoy trying different drinks. Yeah, I'll do it." And my rule is I have to drink it. So if I don't like the can, I still have to finish it if I want to put it on my wall.
Gotcha.
That's like something that I've been doing. We post on our little family YouTube. We post little different videos in our own little like podcast, but like it's just like something fun that we do. That's what I'm not doing if I'm not wrestling or watching wrestling.
Nice. So, we're mostly a wrestling-related show, obviously, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture, and I'm always looking for recommendations. So, by any chance, are you watching or listening to anything really cool right now?
Oof. Not too much. Like I said, I'm big into wrestling, so if it's not much into wrestling, I'm not too sure. I know GTA 6 is coming out soon. I definitely plan on getting that and playing that. I can't wait for that. But other than wrestling, not too much now, I'd say.
Gotcha. Well, something that we've done in all of these, and we'll be actually getting to that later in the show, we have a segment where we let the current guest ask a question of the next guest. And one of my recent guests actually asked such a cool question that I've incorporated it into my permanent list of questions. And that is, if your wrestling career could be summed up in a movie, what movie would it be?
Oof. That's rough. I'm trying to think. I want to almost say like the movie The Wrestler, almost, because I've had a lot of ups and downs with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And again, wrestling's like my life, so like if it's not a wrestling movie, I haven't seen too many movies. I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm really gonna have to look into more movies and figure out like what movie speaks to me and my wrestling journey the most.
Gotcha.
That's probably gonna be my homework after this.
So, within wrestling, who inspires you the most and why?
When I was young, it was always Jeff Hardy, just a daredevil, and he was always different with the rainbow hair and stuff like that. He's probably my favorite of all time. But now that I'm a worker, more, especially with the cowboy gimmick, more Shawn Michaels. I think he's one of the best to do it. AJ Styles, more guys like that I've been looking towards really help inspire my character and help me better my character.
Gotcha. So, same question, but outside of wrestling, what person inspires you the most and why?
Outside of wrestling, my dad. Can I throw that one out there?
Yeah.
Because my family's always working hard, making sure we have a roof over our head. Because there's been times where like we haven't, and I've seen us struggle, and I've seen them sacrifice everything just to make sure we have food on the table and stuff like that. So they inspire me a lot to like, no matter where I am, work hard. No matter what I have, work hard. Work hard for everything you have, and that kind of goes in with my character a lot. I rely on that a lot with my character.
Gotcha. We've got several more people hanging out with us. We've got Big MF 209, Leroy Robinson 97, Father Sweezedwater, and 8762 Christina hanging out with us tonight. So, what is your favorite thing about Ohio?
The people. Florida's crazy. When I was in Florida, everyone seemed crazy. It felt like. In Ohio, I feel like people are more laid back and relaxed and chill. You can go side by siding. I feel like Ohio, the people is a little more chill and relaxed. The traffic's better. I can't stand Florida traffic. Oh my gosh, Florida drivers are the worst by far. And then they blame it on us from Ohio, and it's like no, go to Ohio and drive.
If you hate traffic, come to Atlanta. I mean, it's it's terrible.
No, driving through to go to Florida, it's not good.
Yeah. So, they say that the best wrestling personas are usually yourself turned up to 11. So tell us a bit about in-ring Andrew Mitchell. Tell us about the Cowboy Kid and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you. And kind of tell us how the persona has evolved over time.
Okay, so can I start where I got the character from?
Yeah, please.
So originally I was the Prodigy, Andrew Mitchell. This was around when I first started because I was super young at Dory's school, and everyone's like, dang, you're really good. You're like a prodigy of wrestling. So when I first started out, everyone called me the Prodigy, and it just kind of stuck with me at Dory's school. Then I did a CYN, Control Your Narrative seminar with EC3, Braun Strowman, and all them. And EC3 gave me a hard time on, well, what are you a prodigy of? I was like, well, I'm a prodigy of wrestling. Like, I'm the future of wrestling. He goes, no. Like, what are you the prodigy of? And he, tore the prodigy gimmick apart. And I was like, well, that's obviously not going to work for me. And they were like, well, what about, a trucker gimmick? It was, pitching trucker gimmicks. It's like, what's, the most recent movie you watched? And it was, either 21 or 22 Jump Street. And one of their names was Drew Janko. So they was like, well, dude, Drew, because that's your... one of their names is... their last name is Janko. And then my name's Andrew, so they was like, oh, Drew Janko, do something like that. And it's like, the trucker gimmick, doesn't feel right to me. I was like, well, at the time I was working at horse farms and everything like that, so I'm like, well, I'm right here working with horses. I'm very country. I'm like, well, what if I just take the trucker gimmick and tweak it a little bit and be a cowboy? Then I was at Jay Lethal School, the advanced side of Jay Lethal School, and I did one of their dark matches. And Dax the Axe was the one running it. And when he introduced me to the ring, I was supposed to be the trucker gimmick, Drew Janko and stuff. And I was like, I kind of want to be a cowboy. And he goes, the Cowboy Kid, Andrew Mitchell, when he introduced me. And I went, oh my God, that's it. That's amazing. I was like, I love it. So I just ran with it. I'd say it's got a lot of me in it because, again, working on horse farms, country music's all I listen to. And then to me, it's more than just the cowboy hat. Cowboys are synonymous with hard work, working hard, out in the heat, constantly working. And I pride myself on being a workhorse, always working, getting early to the shows, helping set up, helping tear down at all these shows. Like, I want to put in the work. I'm always striving to work and better myself. And I feel like that's a lot to do with it.
Yep. First one there, last to leave.
That's literally how it is. Like, so I don't drive. So a lot of times, like, my dad will take me to some of these shows and stuff, and he'll be like, oh my gosh, like, you're literally the first one here, then, like, you're the last one's coming out. He's like, come on, hurry up. It's like, I can only tear down a ring so fast, especially if not everyone's helping out. Like, I'm trying. But, like, I'm grateful that they're willing to help me with my journey.
Absolutely. So tell us about your very first match. What was it like? How did it go? What were your thoughts?
So I started, I believe, on Tuesday. My first match was that Thursday. So, like,
oh, wow.
2 days later. Yeah. I was so nervous and so scared because we did shows every Thursday. So I was so nervous and so scared. I barely knew anything. I wrestled someone else that just started at the same time I did, Danny Tozo. And we started wrestling. He started doing stuff that, like, we was never trained to do, never taught. And we got told, like, don't do anything you don't know. So, like, I'm freaking out as he's locking me in these submissions going, I don't know what to do. I'm so lost right now. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And it was just a wreck. It was so terrible. And then the same night we had a battle royal. So I competed in that. And one of the girls there, Catalina, she took care of me. She took me in the battle royal and it's like, oh, I'm going to work with you in the battle royal. And she basically beat me up the entire battle royal, then eliminated me. But super nervous. Very lost and not knowing what to do. It's one of the things I used to look back on and be like, this is where I started and this is where I am now. It kind of make me, like, realize how far I've come. And then funny thing is, me and Danny Tozo ended up being a tag team and won the tag team championship there.
Nice. So we've heard about the first one. Now, if you can narrow it down, tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
Favorite match altogether or recent?
Both. All together, and then what's your favorite one that you've been a part of recently?
So I'm a very big fan of my match versus Drake Xavier. I believe you've had him on the channel also.
I have. Yeah.
Me and him used to ride together to a bunch of different shows. Like, we'd travel all over Florida together. I'd sleep on his couch. So we knew each other very well. So when promotion would have us work together, like, we clicked so good. We'd do some of the stupidest stuff, but it all makes sense, and we'd hit each other super hard. That's probably one of my favorite matches, is me versus him. Undefeated against him, by the way. Very proud of that. Most recently, Armbar Pro Wrestling, a show here in Ohio. I just did 2 shows for them, and both my matches, like, I felt very proud of. It's some of my matches here recently that I'm very proud of. I wrestled James Cross at one, and I forget the name of the other guy at the other one. But we had really good matches, and I was, like, super proud of how they turned out. And then me and Ray's Bannon put on a good match for Benchmark for Wrestling. I was very happy with how that one went. But those are, like, my top ones here recently.
Nice. So Dax Harwood was the one that kind of gave you the cowboy gimmick, huh?
So in Florida, there's this wrestler that goes by Dax the Axe. He wrestles at MLW.
So a different Dax.
Different,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one wrestles in MLW in a mask. I believe he goes by Dr. Dax in MLW.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who I'm talking about or not, but he's in Florida. He goes by Dax the Axe, but he
Gotcha.
kind of gave me the thing.
Gotcha. Okay, so different Dax.
Yeah. It gets confusing. Yeah.
So you've been doing this, for 7 years. So I'm sure that you've picked up a few of these along the way. What would you say is your biggest wrestling-related pet peeve?
Oof. There's a lot.
I'm sure.
Egos is a big pet peeve of mine. I can't stand people that come in with huge egos or want to big league people. It's like, there's no reason for that. I'm a stickler for helping set up and tear down the ring, no matter what. Making stuff make sense, laying in your shots. And then, like, footwork. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm from Dory's or what, but, like, footwork is very important to me. Making sure everything's smooth and flows together. So, like, I'll see someone put in a headlock, and they'll have their feet reversed from how it's supposed to be. Or they'll have their hands even reversed. And it's like, that's not how you do a headlock. Like, we got taught, like, this is a headlock, or a head squeeze. This is a headlock. Like, something so simple like that I'll watch people do, and I'm like, I want to, like, tweak them and, like, hey, this is how you do this. But I'm like, I won't say anything. But, like, little stuff like that sticks out to me. Just feet work and stuff like that. Putting everything together, making it smooth.
Gotcha.
That I'd say is my biggest pet peeve.
Gotcha. So, do you have an all-time favorite match or matches as a fan? Do you have certain matches that are just near and dear to your heart that you find yourself kind of circling back to?
So, a match that I go back and watch and try to study a lot is, like, Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. I think that match was incredible, especially because I'm not the biggest person, so normally the people I'm wrestling with is a lot bigger than me. Mm-hmm. So, like, I take stuff away from that match and try to apply it in my own matches. John Cena and Seth Rollins, I think they had a really good match. Some of those matches that, like, the workhorse matches like that where you have a smaller guy versus someone bigger, more athletic guy versus more of a powerhouse. I go and watch a lot of those matches. Of course, Taker and Shawn, WrestleMania, that's always a classic one.
Yeah.
Everyone's top,
so,
yeah. But yeah, I'd say Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles is the main one.
Gotcha. So, kind of piggybacking onto that question, do you have an all-time favorite promo as a fan? Is there a promo or promos that really spoke to you that you just kind of hold a special place for?
Ooh, I would say the moment Brock Lesnar returned was big for me. That wasn't really a promo, but, like, I remember being little and, like, John Cena's amazing. He's so good, especially to a young kid like I was at the time. And then Brock Lesnar comes and destroys them. CM Punk pipe bomb, of course.
Yeah.
I'd say that one's probably the highest one right now.
Gotcha. You know, there is one that I always tell young wrestlers. There's a match and a promo that I always recommend to young wrestlers, and I'll recommend these to you as well. There is a match from a Clash of the Champions WCW show back in 1989. It was an I Quit match between Flair and Terry Funk. And it is a masterclass in storytelling. It's on YouTube. So take the time and go check that match out. And then a promo that I just absolutely love is a promo that Mick Foley did when he was in ECW. There had been a situation, you know, at the time his son Dewey was like 7 or 8 years old. And somebody in the audience held a sign up that said Kane Dewey. And that really bothered him. And he did a promo about seeing this sign. And it was just so real because you could just imagine the pain this guy was feeling thinking about his little boy being whipped with a cane. You know, and it was one of those great promos that really blurred the lines between, you know, reality and the wrestling persona. You know, it made you feel. Yeah, it was very well done. So, at this, and this is one of these questions that the answer can literally change almost moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day. But at this moment, in your opinion, who are the best male and best female wrestlers in the world? Who is the best man and who's the best woman? It's tough.
Oof. Oof. I want to say Seth Rollins. A lot of his matches, like no matter who he's wrestling, he knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, I won't argue that.
It's amazing seeing him wrestle. Will Ospreay has some good matches.
Did you see his match with Kenny the other day?
I did not. I did not have the chance to. I wish I did.
Oh my God! It is so good. You need to see that match. Oh man!
I have to end up watching it. Yeah.
So, piggybacking onto that question, who is the best tag team right now?
Ooh. Currently. Ooh, that's a tough one. WWE doesn't have that many tag teams. WWE, like, their tag team division's terrible right now.
Yeah, it is.
There's a tag team that I wrestled with in Florida that I think they are doing amazing right now. There's actually two that I think is doing really good. I truly believe like they're one of the better tag teams going right now. Better Together in Florida. Them two are knocking it out of the park. They've been doing stuff with Ring of Honor and Booker T's Reality Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are amazing. Then also Exodus in Florida. I think they are really finding their own in Florida and really putting on some amazing matches. On the bigger stage, I mean FTR, of course, are amazing.
I have really been impressed with Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. But I just feel like they're not doing much with them. But they are so talented. I mean, I love watching those guys.
It's a shame. Like I can't tell you like more than like 4 tag teams that WWE currently has. It's crazy.
I know. So, in your opinion, what is the best storyline in wrestling right now?
Currently going?
Yeah.
If you'd asked me a few weeks ago, I'd say the CM Punk and Kevin Owens. I was heavily invested into that. Just because of the real heat they had and everything like that. Currently, I want to see what New Day is doing in AEW. I'm interested to see where they what they're doing, especially since they just came out. And again, we just talking about tag teams. They're one of the best to ever do it. So I'm really excited to see how their story unfolds in AEW.
Absolutely. So, and this can be present day or past. Who would be a dream opponent? Who would you love to have the opportunity to share a ring with?
Ooh. I'd say my top one's AJ Styles. I'd say AJ Styles is by far my top one. I've been compared to him a lot. So, like, that was one of my dream matches that sadly will never happen. But I'm hoping one day I'll be able to step in the ring with Avery Styles and be able to have an amazing match with him. That's now my new goal, is to have a match with him.
Gotcha. So, what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And then on the flip side of that, is there a move that you won't do or you would at least rather not do? And that can be giving or receiving.
Favorite move to do? I really like doing elbow drops. Really like jumping off the top rope, moves like that, or a suicide dive. Oh my god, I love doing suicide dives. And then moves there's not a move I'd say I haven't done or took. So when I was at Dory's, I was helping teach the newer students because I was been there so long and everything like that. So anybody that wanted to come in and try new moves, I was also the youngest. Use him. Do the move to him.
Yeah.
His body can handle it. He's young. So like
Yeah. So
because of that, I would say there's not many moves I won't take, or that I haven't taken. But the one that always like rings my bell and like really messes me up is a choke slam. Because I always try to go way up high for it, and then that's the fall down. Like it sucks. It always knocks the wind out of me. I'm like, ugh. Every time someone says, "I'll hit you with that," I'm like, I can make it look really good, but it's gonna suck for me.
Yeah.
That and an Alabama slammer. Those suck. Just the whiplash from it sucks.
So it sounds like that you sort of got the job of being the crash test dummy for the school.
Yeah, that's literally what they would call me. Because, hey, you want to try this new move? Yeah, sure, Andrew, come here, take this real quick. So, like, everyone was giving me their moves. That's what my training was, hey, take all these moves. But I'm so happy I did, because, like, I work with some guys and, like, I've never took that, or I don't know how to do this, and, like, then I can wrestle a match and someone's like, hey, you want to take this? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, that's fine. I can take that easily. It's gave me body control when I'm getting thrown around in the ring. Like, I know where I am at all times.
Oh, for sure. So, you're obviously a very young guy, so this may or may not really apply, but I'll ask, what hurts right now, if anything?
Okay, so I dislocated my AC joint in a match. That's always giving me trouble, especially like at night. Like even going like this, that hurts quite a bit right up in here. That and my neck is always hurting. I wish someone would have told me when I started, like, hey, your neck will never be the same. Like looking up, like that drives pain all the way through my neck. Even like I've took like a month off before, and even taking that month off, like all that month, my entire neck was just in pain. I don't think it'll ever be the same. That I'd say my neck and right here is probably the most that's hurting right now.
Gotcha. So over the 7 years you've been doing this, what is the worst bump you have taken?
Oof. Besides dislocating my AC joint, which that was completely my fault. At Doria's school, I took these two guys. They were huge. They're way bigger than me. Gave me a power bomb, where the other one, who's also super huge and jacked, does a cross body on me as their power bomb. And Dory's ring is super old school ring, like it's completely made out of wood frame, everything like that. So like it's the stiffest ring I've ever been in, and the bumps suck. And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna give this to you, and I can't. So I have another problem where like I can't say no. So someone's like, hey, we're gonna give this to you. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
okay,
that's fine. I can take it. Yeah. I'm young. I can take it. That's one of the times I probably shouldn't have, because I was messed up for a while. When I landed, like I felt my back. I thought I broke my back or my ribs or something. Like that bump really sucked. That's probably one of the worst bumps I've ever taken. I felt that for a while.
Gotcha. So again, you're a pretty young guy. But knowing everything you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Listen more. I feel like you can never listen enough. Listen more and try to learn as much as you can. Pick Dory's brain just that much more. I really wish I would have picked his brain just a little bit more than I did when I was there. That and be in the moment more. Take pictures. Like that's something like I have never took pictures with a name in wrestling. But like part of me wishes I did, because like those are memories, you know what I mean? That way farther in the future when I'm retired, or if I do make it big or whatever, those will be pictures I can look back on and be like, wow, remember this time? And that's something I wish I would have done, especially when I was younger at Dory's school and stuff.
Gotcha. So, wrestling obviously is a roller coaster. You experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. What would you say has been the overall high point and the overall low point of your career thus far?
Winning the Dory's World Championship at his school meant a lot to me because some of the other championships he would kind of just give away to people. But the World Championship, he would always... That was the one that really mattered to him. So he would only give it to like a select few. Like, you had to be really good to get it. And I was lucky enough to be one of the ones that he chose to hold it. Like, that meant a lot to me. Proving Ground, wrestling every week for Proving Ground in Florida, wrestling for their World Championship and then their Multimedia Championship. I actually have the original Multimedia Championship that they gave to me as a birthday present because I wrestled for them every day, and that's the championship that I fought for. So they actually let me keep it for my birthday, which I thought was amazing. And then the lowest point would probably be dislocating my AC joint, just because when it happened, like I wasn't allowed to wrestle for at least like a month or two, or possibly even longer. I forget how long it was, but I wasn't allowed to wrestle. Couldn't really move it much or anything like that. And I was like, oh, like it made me scared that like, will I be able to wrestle again? And if so, like, how much different am I going to have to wrestle just to protect it? And it still worries me every once in a while when I'm out there because like I'll start feeling it. I'm like, oof, I don't know.
Gotcha. So you had said that was entirely your fault. What actually happened?
So I took a neck breaker. My whole thing is I'm very big into selling the moves and taking crazy bumps because of being at Dory's, taking everyone's moves. So I always try to like sell the crap out of everything. I took a neck breaker where he was on the apron and gave me a neck breaker in the middle rope. So I took it and I'm like, well, I'm going to fling myself back into the ring and like face bump or try to like oversell it. It was either that, like in a split second I decided to do that. It was either that or I was going to bump to the apron or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm going to fly into the ring and take a face bump. And because of me bumping on the ropes, I had so much momentum going forward that I just over-rotated and landed directly on that part of my shoulder. Felt the pop, and I'm like, oh, that was weird. I was like, I should be okay. And as soon as I moved my arm, it popped again.
You knew you weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, I started like throwing some punches, and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of weird. So I started using my left arm. I'm like, I can keep going. It wasn't until later in the match he sent me to the ropes. And when you run the ropes in wrestling, you always put your right arm over the top rope to make sure if the ropes break, you don't fall over. I went to go put my arm over the top rope, and I couldn't lift my arm to go over the top rope. And that's when I went, oh, maybe I'm a danger to others now. So then I told him, I was like, yeah, I can't. We're going to have to take it home. And it bothered me so much mentally because, again, I was the youngest one there. I think when I was there, I was 18. So, like, it really bothered me having to call the match. Because now I'm like, everyone's going to look bad on me. Like, I got hurt and I had to stop the match. Everyone's going to hold me accountable and they're going to treat me differently and I'm never going to be welcome back here. But then it was the complete opposite. Everyone was super cool about it. And like, the guy felt bad that it happened. And I was like, it's not your fault. This is how I bumped. The promotion themselves said, don't worry, you're not going to lose your spot. As soon as you're healthy, come back and we'll put you right back in. And they did, luckily. I'm super happy with how it went.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we can all be our own worst enemy with, with our perceptions of a situation. I mean, it's easy to think the worst about yourself and about situations in life. And, oftentimes the perceptions that we have are very far from the actual truth.
100%. Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to let go of that stuff. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
So, again, glancing over at the Instagram chat, we've got last night's guest joining us, 209 Loca, who is a super fan from Northern California. Had a lot of fun having her on the show last night. And then we've got one of your compatriots in Ohio, Noro Demora, hanging out with us. He's a good dude. I had him on not too long ago and really had a good time with him.
I really want to have a singles match with him. I feel like me and his style really goes well together, and I feel like we could really have a really good match in a singles match.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that. I was thinking you and Noro ought to definitely make something happen. So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Any things that you try to do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
Besides getting like a little pump, like push-ups and stuff like that, because of my shoulder, the one thing that has really strengthened my shoulder was learning to walk on my hands. So I taught myself from Dory's how to walk on my hands because we do the ladder drills, the footwork ladder drills. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, everyone would get out to take a drink of water. And I'm like, I don't need water. I was like, I'm going to learn how to do the ladder drill on my hands. So I taught myself to walk on my hands. And ever since this kind of happened, I feel like when I walk on my hands, it's the only thing that like really like warms up my shoulder really well and like gets it to where like, oh wow, I can move it really well. It feels really nice. So I always try to like challenge myself to how far can I go backstage? How far can I walk on my hands backstage? And it's just something like if I don't do it, like mentally, it's like, oh, I don't know how my shoulder's gonna hold up. I don't know if I can do this. Is this something like prepare me? I don't know. It's a mental thing, I guess. I don't know.
Gotcha. So, tell us a little bit about your gear bag. What all do you carry in your gear, and do you carry anything unique or unusual in your gear?
Um, I would say no. My gear bag changes a lot. At one point,
Yeah.
I had like a designated gear bag, like duffel bag. Here recently, I've been just putting myself in a book bag, same book bag that I take to work with me. So it's got like little, like it's got like a box cutter in it, and just like random stuff that from work. Because now I changed my gear from jeans. I used to wrestle in jeans, but then everyone's like, "Oh, that doesn't look like a wrestler." So I went back to the trunks look. Excuse me. So now it's taking a lot less room in my gear bag. So now I'm just like, well, I really don't need this giant duffel bag if I don't have much to put in it. So I just use like a book bag, but it's always changing. I'll use different book bags or different stuff. That I'd say is the most unique thing. Is never know what I'm going to show up with to a show using.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, we're at the point of the show now where the previous guest has a question that they posed. And that is, like I said, the superfan 209 Loca from last night asked this question, and that is if you could pick a WWE wrestler to manage or mentor your career, who would it be?
Um, to manage or mentor my career, I feel like it's cheating if I say Dory. Um, oh, excuse me. Dory, before he passed, I really wanted to get him to do shows with me here in Ohio, to manage me or like do signings or something here with me. Never got the opportunity to, sadly. Um, Other than him, uh, AJ Styles would be a big one that I want to like. I'd want him in my corner, really rooting me on. You know what I mean? Like I feel like his character and me fits perfectly, and I really look up to AJ Styles. Again, he's one of the most phenomenal people. You know, like it's literally right there in his nickname. You know,
Pun intended. Yeah.
exactly. I'd say he's one that I'd want in my corner from WWE by far.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, since this is part of a series, do you have a question that you would like to ask the next guest? And the next guest happens to be Ray Spannon on Thursday.
Um, if you were a booker or promoter, who would be 5 people that would be a staple on your promotion? And in the independent circuit, who would be the 5 that you would choose to be a staple? I'd say that'd be a good question for him. Because he has been to different states and wrestled so many different people and everything and shared so many different locker rooms. I want to see the 5 that he would choose. And it gives a nice little shout out to some of the other independent wrestlers out there.
That's actually a really good question. Out of curiosity, how would you answer that?
I would say Drake Xavier, just because I know him so well and I know no matter who he wrestles, he can put on a good match. I would say Blaine Rage from Doria's School. I always looked forward to wrestling him, and he's got so much knowledge. He used to be in FCW and stuff. He's got so much knowledge. I could pick his brain forever. Jacob Walker, he's part of the tag team that I mentioned down there, Exodus. He's their 3rd member.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Doria's School. He's progressed so much just from when I was wrestling with him. Then a couple from here, I'd say Austin Elm, then one more Brandon Day. I'd say that would be my 5. That like would be a staple in my show if I was a promoter.
Gotcha. So during his farewell tour, John Cena kept bringing up the concept of leaving wrestling better than he found it. And I just thought that was really something that resonated with me, and I just thought, what a cool thing to strive for. Well, you're obviously very, very young still in your career, but ultimately sort of thinking in terms of legacy, how do you eventually hope to leave wrestling better than you found it?
I feel like there's a lot of money in independent wrestling that's missing, just because instead of a lot of people are competing with different promotions, like, oh well, we can be better than this promotion, and all these independent wrestlers are trying to like, I don't know, I feel like people are looking at it wrong. I think if everyone works together, like a lot of places are like, oh well, I don't know why people book these people, they're so bad, but then they continue to book them, and it's like they've had no training. They're backyard wrestlers that have no experience, but then they just keep booking them, but then complain because they're booking them. I feel like there's a lot of money there where if everyone comes together, all the independent wrestlers come together and do stuff, we can make more than $20 a show or going to wrestle for free for hot dog and handshake, as they say.
Yeah.
That's something big, I feel like. And then helping set up and tear down the ring, I feel like more people should be doing that. That's something that I want to get out of this, paying your dues more.
Absolutely. So we're getting pretty much toward the end of things now. So do you have any upcoming shows or anything that you want to give some hype to?
October 3rd, Armbar Pro Wrestling. I know they're having a show. More than likely I'm going to be on it. I've been on their last couple of shows, and I've been having some really good matches with them. I look forward to their show every time it comes around. I know DCW is having a show the 5th here in Ohio. More than likely, I'm going to be on their next show. Benchmark Pro Wrestling, they should be having a show coming up. If anything, I'm going to try to get on it. This Saturday, I'm not really wrestling just because my dad's birthday is coming up. So I'm taking this
happy
Saturday
birthday.
This Saturday I'm taking off, but next Saturday more than likely I'll find some show to go be a part of. If I'm not booked the weekend, I'll always go find some show and go help out and set up, tear down, everything like that.
Gotcha. Well, as far as what we've got coming on the Throwdown, Thursday, September 3rd, 2 days from now, 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got episode 268. With another Ohio guy, Race Dang Bannon. And interestingly enough, he really, based on the pictures and everything that I've seen, he really does bear a resemblance to Seth Rollins, which is kind of interesting. And then Saturday the 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time, we're actually doing episode 7 of Pop Goes the Throwdown, which is sort of a sister show of the main show. And we're going to be talking true crime and conspiracies with a guy named Birdie from the Hive Mind channel on YouTube. If you're interested in true crime or conspiracy type stuff, man, look Birdie up because he is doing some really cool stuff. Right now, he's heavily focused on the Idaho 4 case, and I'm a bit of a true crime junkie myself, so I've really been enjoying his stuff. And currently, I am booked up through the month of September and starting to take some bookings into October. So definitely keep an eye on my socials because there's some cool stuff coming up, and I'm just excited that the show continues to roll on. So before we wrap all of this up, do you have any final words?
Fun fact for you.
Okay.
I took the first curve stump that Race Bannon ever did.
Really?
In a show in Indiana. He was the face, I was the heel, and the crowd was already like singing Seth Rollins' song to him and everything.
Yeah.
We went for it was in a battle royal. We was the first two, and he did a spot, and I messed it up. It was he went for like the wheelbarrow, and his legs went in between mine just because I like moved over the last second. Messed it up, and I was like, I want to give him something. I'm like, well, they're already chanting it. I was like, give me a curve stump. And then afterwards, he goes, yeah, I've never done a curve stump. He's like, you're the first person to hit with it. I was like, what? You should definitely be using it.
Nice.
That's a little fun fact for you for his interview.
Well, I will definitely bring that up.
And, a fun little story.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and such, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern with Race Bannon, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.